folks, we're now with the band's frontman, okay? He's the man that writes the music, writes the lyrics, composes the songs. Much of what he does is inspired from his life and his hopes and dreams for Haiti and the people of Haiti. He's a painter, he writes, he has a book he's working on. He also spends a lot of time with the people of Mosaic trying to place them as people that have been displaced several times in Haiti. So, that's his focus at this point because of that commitment to the people of Mosaic. But when he has time, he is a prolific painter, writer, and musician. He's given me a rock today to connect me to the earth, give me some confidence. These rocks came from Bané, which was where we recently visited. Let's start off with your involvement in the band and what this means to you.
Des racines, quand même, c'est pour la musique surtout, c'est ça, il y a une grande importance dans la vie chaque monde qui vit. Et des racines, c'est comme une thérapie, comme pas de musique pour moi-même. Surtout là nous ensemble dans le band, c'est que tout le monde a joué, nous senti même là où t'es fâché, où t'es un petit problème, et parfois j'aime sortir dans un peu le problème et me traumatiser tout. Souvent avec les gens qui me géré pendant un bon temps, toute celle de monde. Ça veut dire, après ça, moi, Ben, l'aime venir là, avec toutes mes musiciens en famille, et que là nous jouer, que c'est comme si pendant un moment que je vais oublier toute la bagaille. Ça, c'est, je dis un peu le bagaille pour moi.
Of the music that you've written, is there style or certain words that are most important to you in your music?
Chaque musique que je fais, il y a une signification, il y a une signification, par contre tu comprends ça? Il y a une signification, il y a une bagaille, il y a dit. Mais cependant, il y a des musiques que vraiment, moi j'aime toute musique. Par exemple, moi, musique que moi j'aime, c'est comme si nous clair, c'est une musique qui dit si le monde ne change pas, alors il y aura beaucoup plus de bouleversements. La produit non sans rien, ça veut dire finalement si nous pas mettons-nous ensemble pour nous travailler, tout le monde là, et bien laisse ça, le monde là passer. Seule chance non c'est uni. Ok. Comme dit tout, musique sentimentale, c'est très important pour moi. Parce que après tout c'est sentimental là qui fait nous là. Je pense que l'amour est tout. L'amour, c'est tout. Ça veut dire, moi chanter un peu de musique sentimentale, moi chanter un peu de musique engagée, sociale. Et comme je dis, au jour le jour, ça m'a vécu surtout dans Haïti, ou tout dans l'autre pays. Et moi-même, je me considère le monde là sont seuls que les va vraiment et pour moi pas vraiment ouais un pays un seul côté moi c'est monde là qui plus intéressé diversité c'est lui qui fait monde là belle diversité dans la nature même dans penser tout pour moi me chanter toutes les bagailles que me senti que monde a besoin gain de bagaille tout monde yo pas ouais monsieur chanter sur lui et je dis un peu fois mon yo dit me fou parce que yo pas comprendre. Je parle avec un pile monde, rencontre un pile monde. Ça veut dire toujours un pile bagaille pour me dire et toute catégorie de monde. Ça veut dire monde là pour moi j'aime toujours dire ça monde là pas avancé parce que yo toujours utilisé même bagaille qui gagne ancien yo fait un petit bagaille. Il y a un pile bagaille qui fait même parce que nous besoin plus toujours. Et avec musique moi avec alors pour moi et m'a expliqué même si on dit me fou m'a expliqué tout ça me senti à travers la musique là c'est un gros âme pour moi.
Let's talk a little bit about the tools that you've come across in your life. When did those things become part of your life?
Bon, ça vraiment c'est longtemps mais je n'ai pas tellement pratiqué ça parce que pendant que je me levais tout petit, quand nous c'est là me lever tout petit, c'est là c'est un groupe jeune qui yo même yo toujours critiquer toute bagaille, ou toujours défendre nous. Et me songe depuis longtemps m'a essayé comme tu as dit ça et nous travaillons avec nous-mêmes nous avons dit jeunes dans question pour dicter faire un bagage et puis pour l'autre la fait ou bien si l'autre la fait del bagage et vous voulez faire ça tout. L'histoire c'est que comment commencer avec musique parce que famille me pas vraiment faire ça du tout. Si on te gagne pas connaît et pour moi c'est un chou famille par rapport avec ça que musique me fait chou ça mon yo mais en plus dans sens par rapport avec pour moi c'est un superstar dans le niveau et par exemple si m'da aller dans zone ça bon je pas dire dans zone quelque chose à côté Maléa ça prend pile temps parce que me tellement me pile monde quelque chose me pas quelque à côté me passer moi c'est pas dire moun yo vivre avec pas contre si pour petit mais et comme si mais ça me veut dire que je pas trouver aucune famille qui était dans ça nous te gagné un business bric à brac alors tout petit m'a travail bon yes on connaît business là gain comme chaque jour et puis manger et puis et nous avons étudié nous avons toute bagaille que nous avons besoin
everything we needed.
Nous avons piano premièrement c'était commencer piano mais c'est piano qui pas qu'à lever c'était c'est lourd tout le monde jouait mais quand moi commencé à jouer piano et bon si nous t'es passé dans un t'es qu'apprendre monde qui était sous bureau femme et puis pendant m'a joué et puis la frappé faire un jazz mais c'est pas apprendre pas apprendre piano.
I didn't learn the piano.
À l'école longtemps il pas te montrer musique.
They didn't teach you music.
Il pas ou capable apprendre ça juste kounya c'est yo montrer tout
But now there's music in the school curriculum.
Mais à l'école pas de musique. C'est juste yo montrer chanter, mais pas de la musique. Là où nous comme on a plus beaucoup là si yo parle de l'histoire et c'est des musiciens. Comme dit que l'histoire c'est les qu'on est là, guitare c'est plus difficile par piano qu'apparaît commencer jouer ou commencer sentir mais guitare c'est plus difficile. Yo porte guitare bon nous kembe pas acheter, nous gain plaisir qui yo ba yo quitter yo pas venir prendre. Nous commencer à regarder mais c'est difficile et puis nous payons un professeur venir
and then we paid a teacher to come and give me
lessons. Là moi me sortir avec guitare, je commence à négliger ce piano parce que guitare me donne chaque jour.
And so I started to ignore the piano
parce que piano
because I could walk with the guitar on my back.
Là ça c'était jouer dans jazz
I
et puis
could play in other groups.
Même pas de jambe chanter. J'étais toujours avec ces composer pour groupe et puis mal jouer, même pas de chanter. C'est nous faisons un groupe qui est les Feeling Stars et puis nous prenons un chanteur pour chanter puis deux jeunes filles. Et puis nous commençons jazz. Moi, j'étais toujours un compositeur, un guitariste. Mais comme si avant, j'étais plus bon guitariste que qu'on y a. On seulement jouer guitare et puis je voulais chanter, je pensais pas qu'à chanter, je pensais qu'à chanter. Musicien qui a chanté, bon, femme de monde qui a chanté, yo toujours après le problème L'histoire qui vient dans ça tout, c'est que
Mona spoke at length about the complexities of running a band. The band wanted to travel to the States and elsewhere, and Mona felt that he could travel with the band. But when money became available for them to get visas to travel, Mona decided to purchase instruments for the band instead. His priority for the band to have a good sound was more important to him than traveling to the States. They were all mad at him, but Mona felt it was best as the group leader. Other problems arose. The singer did not always show up for rehearsals on time. The other guitarist was short of money and had to sell his guitar. There was always some problem. Eventually, the woman as lead singer was not working out. There are always problems with the lead singers. Mona attempted to elevate another band member to be the lead singer. His choice was not a great singer, but Mona knew he would be disciplined and that he could count on him. There was a debate that Mona should be the lead singer.
Non, lui-même qui dit ça, je ne peux pas chanter. Tout ça, moi, ça prend, je ne peux pas chanter. C'est malaise en guitare, je ne peux pas chanter. Et puis, il force bonjour, bon. Il y a deux autres monde qui viennent. Et puis, ils ont encouragé pour me chanter. Je ne suis pas détonné, mais je ne suis pas à l'aise dans ça parce que ce n'est pas fait par moi. Et puis, finalement, ils ont vraiment encouragé, mais puis, je commencé à chanter. Finalement, ça, et que je commencé dans la musique là. Tout petit, je fais un peu de vidéos perdu.
A lot of videos have been
Bon, il faut que
lost.
je vraiment connaisse un peu le bagage. Bien, il ne faut pas changer parce que cheveux pas tellement. C'était belle cheveux. Mais finalement, c'était une histoire. Bien un peu l'histoire. Et non, pas beaucoup de musique.
As far as music's concerned.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is going over to Augustine Mona's camp, and this is really his heart and soul. What he's trying to do is find a place where the people of Mosaic can settle and stay. So let's go up to their camp now.
We depart the sports stadium complex construction site, knowing that this and other construction sites between the bay and this highway are being built on lands sacred to the descendants of Tiano and African people. Much of it is a burial ground, promised to be left undeveloped. We head north toward the Mosaic people's camp, passing a landscape dotted with fragile houses built to shelter many people that had been displaced from the January 12, 2010 earthquake. We slow and turn into a village entrance where we will find the internally displaced people of village Mosaic. From our hillside, we look back across the highway, past sacred land to the ocean. We see an expansive view of the ocean, but this can also be an ocean that delivers raging wind and strafing rain. Another vantage point gives us a clear view of the first camp location after their post-earthquake relocation. Just to the left of the motorcycle is the area they settled prior to their violent eviction from there. Now they find themselves farther from the road and farther up the hill. It is difficult for us to pick out any difference between settlements, but Mona is able to direct us to a little red house. He approaches the house and greets its occupants, other leaders and friends among his people. This is a meeting space for the people of Mosaic, and in it is displayed the banner used to announce the Grand Assembly for the progress of this development zone and in homage to the victims of January 12, 2010. After our introductions, we walk about the village, greeting and playing with its children and youth. Mona speaks to many, encouraging all, and is encouraged by all. Children hang out and play like children everywhere, and adults carry out their daily tasks. Mona is greeted by many, and they continue to encourage each other. We are introduced to Jerry, a leader at the village and advocate for the systemic change necessary to help his people.
We buy waters like across there. It came delivered there, and we paid a bucket $1 Haitian money. So we pay the bucket. That's how we manage.
Do you try to keep this filled, or is that?
That used to be ours. One of the organization gave to us. We had installed it over there on Village Mosaïque, but the day they break our houses and break the village, so we bought it over here because they started cracking and see if they could break it, and that alone cost 30,000 Haitian.
Yeah.
We have to try to protect it, even though it's kind of damaged. So we brought it over here, but at first it was over there. It's not waiting, so we don't know when they're gonna have justice done, because we already had our place waiting to be heard on, but I don't even trust my lawyer to be honest with you. So when it's going on, when it's money paying under the table, what is happening? You have to be a little bit diplomatic.
Are you having any crises here?
Yeah, certainly. My life has been threatened. It's because I'm the head leaders here now after Mona's outside working. So they're giving me all kind of threats to leave this area because they believe once I leave here, they're going to take this land from me.
So you fear for violence against you?
Yeah, I already wrote. There's people that come here with guns behind me. Just 2-3 Sundays ago, there was a holiday that Sundays they call Pop. Came here and it's all type of menacing, and all type of threats. Because they believe once I leave, and everybody's going to leave because they're not going to be able to stay here. Because I'm basically the central information for all 3 villages. Any incident of UN Pole or UN that comes here, they have to ask for me, and then I have to report to them. If I leave here, then everybody's losing. So therefore, that kind of give me a little bit strength to stay here, not to just fear and run and live. So, to say it's a good government, but basically it's not. When you look at what's happening with your own eyes, you know it's totally different from what you heard when you're sitting in the United States. So,
you have any idea what people outside of Haiti can do to help in these situations?
There have to be what you call solidarity. Solidarity.
So that
they have to be a mass. Everybody have to build a consentment, and as a whole, not saying we're the opposition and we for the government. We have to think for the country, not for your pocket. Everybody wants these big talks, beautiful talk, and once they get the political position, now they think for their own self. They don't think for people no more.
Mona wanted to make sure everyone knows how important Carla and Jerry's work has been to find a place for the people of Mosaïque and to help protect these people. Mona collects his guitar and prepares for an impromptu concert for his friends and the families of Village Mosaïque. Many villagers join Mona for some music.
C'est accord idéal pour un normal. Son chanson thérapie pour faire vivre la vie. Ça fait moi toujours avec guitare. Je ne peux pas venir avec guitare.
I wasn't going to come with my guitar. Carla told me to bring it.
Depuis un camp,
because when we were in the camp,
quel que soit côté de passer c'était
no matter
musique. Et c'est
where I
musique.
was, I always made music.
Tu fais nous rencontrer avec
And it's music that
Madame
brought
ça
me together with
parce
this
que lui c'est un
lady.
violoniste, nous avons un groupe ensemble.
We have a group together.
Tout ça m'a fait
All that I
d'y
do,
entrer là-dedans.
she's a part of it.
toute bataille d'Elma, il la donne.
All of the struggle on Delma, she was there.
Même, et qu'on y a dans la situation ça que nous sommes là,
Now in this situation,
je pense que nous la donne, c'est vrai.
we see we're in this terrible situation.
Et-
It's true.
Ça me devait dire, nous très forts par rapport avec ça que nous vivons.
But I just want to tell you that you are strong. You're very strong from what you've
Et
been
je viens
through.
moi, nous sourire.
And I see that you're here
Et
smiling.
nous faisons sourire tout parce que
And you make me laugh too.
Bon, pour me dire nous bien, c'est ça que me dire pendant qu'on a fait documentaire ça, parce que
So
moi
while
c'est
we're
comme ça.
making this documentary,
Et histoire ça va histoire pas seulement c'est histoire
this is my
Kala.
story only, but it's Carla's story too.
Parce que moi dis ça contact pour venir là,
His contact to come here.
c'est lui-même qui te cherche.
She
Il
was
est
the
à
one
4
that
h du
came
matin,
and found it at 4 in the morning.
il dit qu'on pasteur.
She checked on it with the pastor.
Là après il est pour montrer nos côtés Canaan.
She asked when should we come out
Parce que
and
nous pas
visit
nous pas un
Canada.
côté.
We came in here,
Moi elle était bon. Me dit ah
thought
si
it
c'est
was
là
good.
n'a bon
Oh,
n'a
okay.
font il pas mal mon y a dégagé.
then people will be able to take care of themselves here.
Pourtant nous pas la jambe là.
But that was not where we were supposed to be.
Mais pour m'pas ça prend trop de temps.
It's going to take too much
On me
time.
dit et Kala qui est toujours dans toute bagaille avec nous pendant
Carla is always
depuis
here
le
and
commencement.
everything from the beginning.
Et je pense qu'elle a fini là avec nous.
And I know she's going to stay with us to the end.
Bon bah m'a demandé nous encore.
I just want to ask you guys something.
Moi-même depuis m'a avec un monde pas blago.
When I'm with someone, I don't let you go. This friend
Depuis
of
en bas
mine-
il était venu là. Bon moi-même pas
Jerry
jamais
came here.
connaît. Jerry vient nous pas même. Vini. Pas moi expliquer ça parce que son documentaire a fait sur vie là nous te travaillons en pile pendant ça pendant tout le temps ça. Nous passons près de combien de temps nous passons Jerry n'a travaillé dans le cinéma.
How long were we working here?
Et bien en 2003 nous avons
2003.
travaillé dans la question cinéma, préparer jeunes
Yeah, working
et
in
puis
films and training young people.
oui. Finalement après ça et earthquake là et
And then after the earthquake,
nous venons quitter le mouvement pour longtemps.
yeah, so we
Nous
left
entrons dans l'autre
the
mouvement.
cinema and we came to this situation.
C'est ça.
I always tell people this.
Et là, monsieur vient là, il fait investissement dans le terrain, il rentre ensemble avec nous. Il était là,
Came
côté,
out, invested here,
il était, malgré monsieur Gain terre,
even though he has
il
his
était
own
là,
land,
quand moi.
he stayed in my
Côté
house.
me là, il était là.
Where I
il
was,
pas-
he stayed.
Malgré il était là. Moi-même, par contre, pour qui ça, monsieur était là.
I don't know why he stayed there with me,
Et pourtant, t'es une mission, monsieur devrait le faire.
but while there was a mission he didn't know he was going to have to do.
Et son femme dit non, c'est pas on a quitté comme ça, il sort là-bas, il vient avec. C'est bon jeune gens avec tout
He was a
normalement
young
monsieur vient.
man, he was living in the States, he came back
Et
to
c'est pendant
Haiti.
monsieur c'est femme dit tout histoire.
Mona continued to thank the whole documentary team for trying to do something to help. He went on to thank Jerry and Carla for being with them during these most difficult times for the people of Mosaic.
Kounya, si nous voulons nous demander monsieur qui, faut que tu aies expliqué aussi qui.
Okay, he's going to sing a song that the people have asked for. They really like this song. This is a song about himself, that one day he found himself in the heavens, talking with an angel and falling in love with an angel. And then but they said this isn't done normally. People in heaven don't fall in love and make love. That's a scandal in heaven. But everybody was happy. But then they told him to go back, your time hasn't come yet. And he finds himself in a coffin. He wakes up in his coffin. And he opens the coffin, everybody runs away. And the angel says to him, Mona, we were in love, your day hasn't come, you have a mission to fulfill. Your time hasn't come yet. We'll be waiting for you. So Swiki is the name of the angel.
Et puis, nous pas faire bruit, nous seulement laisser ceux qui a chanté, ok?
Okay.
Femme dit bien, je vais jouer musique ça longtemps. Mais après, c'est ma songer.
Okay, he's going to see if he can remember it all.
premièrement de wem nan ciel swiki bon côté Sange Gabriel swiki li permet moi explorer swiki toute beauté qui existait swiki 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 et yo quitté la tête c'est la première fois ça fait dans celle-là swiki devant Séraphin chez Weber swiki être mère aimée ak être divin swiki yo fait l'amour tout coup de mon cou swiki yo pas puni autant pour être swiki 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 swiki
So, with Mona's closing song and many fond farewells, we depart this place, the temporary home for the many souls displaced from City Mosaic in Port-au-Prince, and displaced violently at that by the earth itself and these people's neighbors. The tattered flag of Haiti flies over Camp Mosaic, symbolizing the struggle of its citizens with perhaps the fewest resources. After our time at the Mosaic camp, we returned to our host village, Gwojan, where Mona reflects on his experiences with the people of Mosaic, on the empowerment of women, and his paintings.
That's why I say when
C'est pendant que je fais ça, c'est pendant ma fait expérience ça,
while
moi,
I'm having this experience,
monde qui pas vivre non problème ça,
people who aren't living in this
ou bien
problem,
pas vivre li,
or you never lived that,
c'est difficile pour comprendre.
very difficult to
Yo.
understand them.
Et monde qui essaie de comprendre ça,
But those
comprendre
who
yo,
are trying to
monde ça
understand
sont
them.
monde qui extrêmement avancé
And those people will
dans
make
pensée.
advance, they will be more spiritual.
Parce que franchement, je pas dans même situation hein.
I'm not in the same
Puis après
situation.
les chaque jour pour me soleil chaud
Like
pour m'a
calling me
faire
every day and every night to
pour
go out in the hot
pour
sun.
fou.
It was like I almost was going crazy out there.
Est-ce que vous comprenez? Et là, où
When
on
you're
environnement qui
here,
est plus ou moins bagaille,
Things are
ou
better.
bien l'autre côté qui bagaille, ou bien tendance
So
à.
you have the tendency to
Pour le moment, moi-même
forget.
senti
So right now, for the
Bon.
moment, I'm good.
comme ça pour me ca-
This.
ça permet de temps en temps
So from time
tout
to
ça
time,
même c'est
all
comme
my
si me
friends-
pression me dit faut que aider
I
faut
put
que
pressure
faire
on friends to help me with Mosaic.
pas vraiment moi-même je pense que m'a vivre
I know that I'll be able to
m'a
live.
vivre quand même
In spite of everything, have enough to live.
même voulais faire un bagage me voulais finir avec ça
But I want to accomplish
Mosaic
this
là me dit
for
ça
Mosaic.
chaque monde fait comme ça et puis il pas un côté qui stable
If they don't have a stable place and they have
pour moi
to
je pense
go
nous
other
pas
places,
réussi
I don't think we've
dans
succeeded
tout le travail que nous avons fait.
in the work that we were trying to
De
do.
même l'État pas réussi dans ça le fait parce que
And the government hasn't succeeded either.
l'État dit que lever tout le monde qui était sous le champ de masse.
When the government puts out that they have gotten rid of all these camps, they've lifted the people from these big camps,
Pour moi c'est laver monsieur à terre.
it's like the proverb says, is to wash your hands and then dry them on the ground.
Si l'État te gardé nous sommes Bénin, nous sommes dans le côté,
And look at where we went and visited Benin. If the government would just do something.
Depi gen an pil moun nou ka viv tout kote.
If there's a lot of people, you can go anywhere and live together anywhere.
Si yo te pran kob sa,
If they would take that money
yo te achton gros terre pou moun yo,
and buy a big piece of land,
même si yo ta ale ben koupe kote de fe, ou bien Jacques, on se de
anywhere,
kote,
if you went
et
even
puis yo
to
di,
Bene,
nou fe lotissement pou nou,
and we've created this housing
test sa se
project
pou,
for
men
you.
koman yo
This
bay
is
yo
how to do it
edukasyon,
and educate them.
m'fò apre 30 ans,
And after 30
moun
years,
sa yo gen te, et puis yo
those
ta pe
people have
repitit
land.
yo, ta vraiment vin de
and their
ava
children
lez.
also would be more comfortable.
Men pou mwen se yon gaspillaj
And
ke yo
now
fe,
they're just
e moun yo ap
wasting.
toujou tourne nan menm problem nan.
People going back to the same problems.
E se sa ke m dan men bay kom ekzamp avèk Mozaik.
I want
Kom
to
si
give
moun sa yo,
Mosaic as an example.
yo yon kote, menm si 30 ans apre, 40 ans apre,
So
wap
if
wè
we could see
pitit yo,
somewhere they have a piece of land for 30 years, we can
gen
see,
chanjman ki fet, e
there would
pi
be
yo toujou
change.
uni yo ansan.
and they would be united together.
Se rev pa.
That's my dream.
Wow.
Ils exercent de la France dans les diable féroce. Bien souvent pour un rien, on a beau dire que c'est vilain.
During our return trip from Banay, we had to stop for repairs to our van. And it was during that time near Jacmel that we were able to visit with Sarah Siebert of Beyond Borders, who specializes in programming for the development of awareness of violence against women and children.
Okay, Sarah, so thanks for joining us, and I'd like, first of all, to start off, maybe describe your position with Beyond Borders.
Sure. I have worked with Beyond Borders for the last 4 years, and we work in Jacmel and 4 of the surrounding communities around Jacmel. I'm the specialist, I guess, is the actual title, on the program to prevent violence against women and girls, which is typically domestic violence, sexual assault, and a whole host of other issues surrounding that. We do that by mobilizing the whole community, so working with the media, journalists, media directors, etc., working with health workers, working with everyday women and men, religious leaders, on how pastors preach, for example, on these types of issues, how people do premarital counseling or how they counsel couples on these issues. Getting the whole community, everyday women and men, engaged in a process of change so that rather than turning a blind eye to things like domestic violence, people use what is so strong in Haitian culture to come together and do something to help their neighbors.
We talked earlier about the music of De Racine, and I know that you use a specific song in some of your programming. So I'd like, if you would, is tell us about that, and I remember you also talking a little bit about the reasoning behind that. Okay.
There's, it takes an entire community in order to change a problem as deeply rooted as violence against women and girls in any culture, not just in Haiti, but anywhere around the world where that's an issue, which is everywhere. It takes the whole community, but one of the influences on the way that we think and believe is the radio and is media in any way. The way film presents women, the way film presents violence, etc. It's a component of the way we think and believe. And it's no different in Haiti. Haitian music is so rich. There are so many different types of it. There are so many beautiful messages in it. When it comes to women and girls, there is, as in many places, room for improvement. And there's a song that De Racine wrote that some of the words are, women are my sisters, women are my mothers, my mother. Women are there, please respect them, please honor them. And the whole theme of that is something that we didn't find everywhere in the songs when we were looking to do a radio soap opera drama on issues around violence against women. There were all of these themes that were coming out in the soap opera drama, and we wanted to have some nice music as segues. And we tried so hard. We looked through all of this music, this team of Haitians that were working on this, a lot of volunteers, both men and women, looking through this music, and not finding what we were looking for until we came upon this song. So this song has been kind of now associated in the minds of a lot of people in Jacmel with this soap opera drama and with these types of messages of equality between women and men, because that's what the song is promoting. I know De Racine has a lot of other messages as well, just talking about equality and talking about nonviolence. All of their mission has to do with those principles. One of the things that we thought was really interesting was we did a campaign on the radio. We've been working with journalists for the last 4 years. We did a campaign on the radio that was talking about what we can do during the period of Carnival, which is a big festival time in Haiti. Everyone comes out for it. There's a lot of music that comes out specifically for Carnival. And we were doing a radio campaign because unfortunately during this incredibly culturally rich, beautiful time of release for Haitians, there is also a huge spike in rates of sexual assault. And so we were talking in this radio campaign leading up to Carnival about what makes that happen and what can we do differently in our communities in Haiti so that we're all taking a look out for, if we're going out, is every woman that is with us, are they safe, are they comfortable? If we see something that shouldn't be so, both as women and as men that are out there, if we see something that shouldn't be like that, and if we see a woman that's in danger or is not having a good time, how can we safely intervene? How can we make sure that that isn't happening? And we had these radio directors we've been working with for the last 4 years, some of them. 5 different radio stations came together, not only decided to play the campaign, but decided as a resolution that they said on the air themselves that they don't want to continue as media directors to play songs that are denigrating of women, that are looking badly on women, that sometimes even encourage hatred of women and encourage thereby violence. It's part of the messages. It's not the only thing, but it's part of the messages that create this unequal power imbalance between women and men that causes violence against women. So they were talking about how they see that and really encouraging and kind of provoking artists to create better material so that they don't have to play that stuff anymore. And they said part of the issue is that that's what artists are creating, and a lot of most of the artists that get played are men, and what they're playing isn't necessarily stuff that is of messages of balanced power between women and men. They're playing some of these negative messages. So what they would encourage, and what they did encourage on the radio, was for artists to rethink that. And one of the songs that they've played over and over through the soap opera dramas is this De Racine song about respect for women. And that message we found it needs to come from the voices of men, it needs to come from the voices of women. We need to be speaking together on it. And so just as a kind of an appreciation to De Racine for creating something that all of these radio directors are proud of playing.
Wonderful. I did want to return to an issue that seems to be very important in your music, and that's relationships between men and women. Particularly, and I bring this up because we had an interview with Sarah Siebert recently, and she expressed the fact that one of the most important things about this band is that it has music that speaks about taking care of women rather than abusing them. It speaks about having women involved in things without excluding them. And a good example is that you have a band member who is a woman, and how maybe that has helped the band, or how you resonate with the woman in the band.
Bon. Pendant un bon temps, je bataille pour ça. Les femmes disent, premièrement, je bataille contre moi-même dans ce sens, parce que vous connaissez garçon, c'est gens relevés ou gens qui force comprendre des bagages. Pour moi, c'est encore une mission depuis bien longtemps que nous prenons des décisions pour défendre tout le monde, et surtout les femmes, et qui battent un peu le petit monde, et nous-mêmes nous faisons des réunions avec eux. juste pour freiner nous
to try and stop
nous
that
défendre
beating.
c'est des filles tout que yo
And we defend women
yo
too.
yo messieurs yo bataille
That
avec yo
the men
et
have
nous
fought with them,
nous
beaten
parler
them.
avec femmes yo
We talk with the women
messieurs nous mettez des affiches
and we put up posters too
et côté que gen numéro pour yo
where
relé
there's phone numbers they
pour
can
yo
call.
capable si messieurs yo frappé yo
If
pour
the
yo
men
capable relé
beat
pour yo
them, they can call these
messieurs yo
numbers.
retirer chiré
But the men tear those posters off,
nous bail au téléphone secrètement
but
nous
we
dit
give
yo
them the numbers
parce que
secretly
messieurs yo
anyway.
te vinn di nous
Because the guys just said to
garçon
us,
nous y n'a fait femme yo
poor
vinn
men,
bagay nous dit bon
you're
faut yo
making the women
défendre
think
droit yo
that
parce
they're
que
more
nous
than they are.
avec gros force physique nous cap juste nous parler avec garçon yo nous
We
parler
talk to
avec
the men.
et nous finalement nous venir messieurs surtout bon nous te gain des possibilités
We had the
pour nous bailler
possibility
travail pour nous bailler des
give
bagages
them
tout
work.
nous compte venir messieurs yo de même de nous venir et lundi venir hein c'est
Sometimes we
pas
would punish the men
c'est
too.
pas faire des bagages nous
Not violently,
nous
but
fait mesdames yo relé la police
we would make the women call the
parce que
police,
yo arrêté yo vinn
Sometimes
arrêter
they'd come and arrest
parfois
them.
tout nous pas bailler au travail
or we
nous
wouldn't
dit
give
si
them
on
any
continue comme ça nous
jobs
pas bon travail
if they would, if
Si
they were
on va- on va
continuing
faire
to
là, on va
behave
faire
that
là
way. And so they weren't
et
allowed to be a part of
gagner
the job.
et tout et filles tout cap battre petit li tout
Sometimes the
temps
women beat the children
et puis
too.
nous toujours nous dit nous fait le même bagarre là
We do the same thing.
ça aide un petit peu
That kind of helped a bit to
avec
calm
violence
that, the violence.
mais en ce qui a trait des racines
But through Dear Racine, her music,
et c'est un cas là c'est un bon comme il va qu'à faire non c'est un
Carly,
maman comme tout
she's a
comme c'est
mother
un
even though she's not old enough to be my
même si
mother.
on a bataille pas occuper nous
So if you see us fighting together, don't worry about
parce
it.
que en fait
At this point, Mona speaks directly about Carla, who did not feel comfortable interpreting.
but c'est moi qui dis it's a big, great woman. Yeah, she does a lot of things. I think she like a sister for us, for me, and she participates many things I do. I have to at Titoyen, and she went to the with us with me. Someone come and say the land is for me, and she came with someone to see the judge.
To defend the right to
Defender,
your land.
yeah, it's a good thing. And a lot of work. We go to looking for many organizations for food or for another thing. You know, it's
For help, yeah.
for helping. It's very it's amazing people I never seen. But it's like that. She don't want
She won't even interpret it.
yeah. But I yeah.
Well, I honor the humble approach that all of you have to peace through your music and through the advocacies that you have in Haiti. I do. I think that you have to be peaceful in order to require peace.
Yes.
You now know of the history, music, and mission of Two Roots as a band and individually according to each band member. We have found that Welele preserves Haiti's African culture through drumming, particularly as he teaches it at St. Trinity's Episcopal Church and in all his travels. He puts his efforts into teaching this to young boys and so provides them with a musical instrument that will help prevent them from picking up guns and so help turn young boys away from the violent path they might otherwise take. The Mennonite Central Committee brought Ron to Haiti and helped him develop as an agronomist, person, and Haitian. the Ecumenical Foundation for Peace and Justice with his friend Polycarp, the Partnerships for Local Development under Groundswell International with his friend Kantav, and the Na Sonje Foundation with his wife Carla are three of several other organizations that Ron, in concert with his friends and wife, took part in creating and founding. We were not able to travel to the place where his work started in Haiti with MCC, in the Artibonite Valley, but we have learned that if there is success in community development in Haiti, it is with community development programs such as those initiated and sustained by these organizations that began and sustained Ron's professional and personal development. Naji is the band member with a young child, Shaji, who he cares greatly for while he seeks employment, works in a variety of jobs, sells his artwork, and spends time practicing and performing with the band. Having a child changed his perspective on life and work, particularly in his directed effort at positive fathering as his priority for the benefit of his child. Perhaps he sacrifices a more successful, flamboyant musical career, complete with fame and fortune, the swag, and more, but to him it is Shaji who he is responsible for first, and it is his choice to protect her from the exaggerated life of a famous performer. Here is a man with perspective that greatly benefits his child. Carla's Na Sonje Foundation provides meaningful, culturally immersive tour experiences for travelers to Haiti. Its women's microcredit organization, its young adult organizations of Afsaka and MJ Rav, its play, Three Innocents and a Spirit, are all part of the total effort Carla has made in becoming Haitian. She has bridged cultures through experiences she tailors to travelers' desires to learn about Haiti's history, culture, people, and more. Carla expressed the importance of being with the people of Haiti, and to know that just visiting and then returning to one's homeland with your knowledge about Haiti and sharing it with others is gift enough to the people of Haiti. Mona writes the songs. He is the poet. He is, as Carla states, a melody maker. He weaves a social justice consciousness shared by all band members into the songs they perform. He includes romantic love as that spark that starts everything. He warns of problems needing solutions, of women to be honored, of children to be cared for, of an Haiti that will rise again. Two Roots are his people who through music help him express these profound issues. His purpose is to assist the people of City Mosaic to find a new community to live in and thrive. So, you see, you have been brought into relationship with these people and the people that they advocate for through song and service. You are now invited to be, as Waylele invites you to be, that third root. It is hoped that this new relationship will inspire and empower you to advocate for and express through your own form of music or other artistic effort your own mission. That could certainly be an existing mission shared with Two Roots, or it could be a mission of your own making that you bring to Two Roots in solidarity with them. Whatever this root metaphor means to you, it is hoped that all can grow together in an empowering bond of solidarity, caring, and loving one another regardless of age, gender, race, or other distinctions or diversities. This solidarity provides power that allows us to overcome that which overwhelms us. For together we are stronger, a completely stable tree with 3 huge roots. And we are in solidarity with all those struggling yet persevering with hope for a better world through the music of our missions.
Recevoir moins, ça travaille moins. imbéciles, on les a fait travailler dur, mais sans avoir la somme de ceux qui ont fait le peu de choses. Reçoivent souvent la somme grandiose, jusqu'à quand les malheureux cessera-t-il de travailler pour eux dans cette pareille condition qui exprime